Good morning, Armchair. How is my favorite content creator doing this morning?
I'm doing as best as I can, brother. Trying to get a
I missed your live
glimpse.
last night.
Trying to get in a glimpse of next year. What's that, my brother?
I missed your live last night because I got busy. But who is your pick at 30 for the Broncos?
All right. So now that is over with, I can tell you my 3 picks. So that was the thing. We had to have 3 picks. And these are 3 players that I'm really looking at coming up. Thank you, Jose. Thank you, mamas. I love you too. These are my thank you for the birthday wishes, mamas. These are my 3 picks.
Birthday on
Yeah, today's my birthday. I turned 41 today. Thank you.
41. Wow. Happy birthday.
Thank you. So these are my 3 picks, and thank you, Ryan. These were why. So me and my buddies got together with our new podcast, and this was the first video or first podcast we did, and we weren't allowed to tell anybody on our channels what our picks were. So I have 3. We were tasked with 3, and I asked them, I'm like, hey, can I do ones that a lot of people aren't really looking at? And they're like, you can do whoever you want. Thank you, Bush. Appreciate that. So number 1 for me, thank you. 1 is Notre Dame running back Jadarian Price. Back up to Jeremiah Love. He's very good at running through the tackles and breaking tackles. His breaking tackle ability is at 90%. Then my number 2 pick at number 30, or I think this player could fall to the second round, is Tennessee's wide receiver, Chris Brazzell. He's 6'5", runs a 4.5 40, and he's graded at 90% on deep route running, 87% at intermediate, and 85% at mid route running. And then I was thinking, okay, I need a defensive player because I don't know if I'm bringing back Alex Singleton or Justin Sternard. So I'm looking at Texas linebacker Anthony Hill. Now, he's not really good in coverage, but when it comes to run stopping ability, he's rated at about 87 to 90% at run stopping ability through the tackles. So those were the 3 players that I picked. I really like Anthony Hill out of Texas, especially if I lose Alex Singleton. Now, he's not good at rushing, and I don't need him to be a pass rusher. I'm not going to put him on the outside. I've got Benito and Cooper on the outside. I don't need him there. If I don't bring back Alex Singleton or Justin Sternard, I'm going to need somebody that could replace them. And if I keep Drake Greenlaw, he could be a very good mentor to Anthony Hill and help him in his pass coverage as, next year and the year after that goes on. But I'm looking at somebody that I could absolutely use stopping the run up the middle to where I have to make them bounce outside. And Anthony Hill just popped off the charts for me. But those are my 3 picks. Running back out of Notre Dame, Jadarian Price. Wide receiver out of Tennessee, Chris Brazzell. And linebacker out of Texas, Anthony Hill.
I do like Chris Brazzell because he gave OU a lot of problems.
Well, he's 6'5". He's got pretty big hands, and I'm looking at his deep threat ability. He's got his ability to catch the ball is very high. So I'm thinking, wait a minute, I need a deep threat that I know is not going to drop the ball. So I was looking at Brazzell, and I'm also thinking, wait a minute. I can do a lot of go routes with him. Again, he runs a 4.54 40. But then I was thinking, wait a minute. Well, I was thinking, wait a minute. If I get in the red zone, a 6'5" wide receiver over a 5'9", 5'10" cornerback, I've got him in the corner of the end zone every play. His hop ability, his hands, his arm length. All I got to do is do a post route, one-on-one to the...
And throw it up top.
Yeah, throw it up top.
Put it on the top shelf to where he can get it.
Yes, sir. So those are the 3 players that I'm really looking at for the Broncos to draft. Jadarian Price, again, I don't know if we bring Drake Greenlaw, or not Drake Greenlaw, I'm sorry, but J.K. Dobbins back. I'm hearing that the Broncos are really looking at bringing in Breece Hall. So even if you were to bring in Breece Hall, drafting Jadarian Price out of Notre Dame to team up with RJ Harvey because RJ Harvey's got the pass catching ability, but Jadarian Price has the breaking tackle ability through the A and B gap is something that I really look into.
So if we sign Brees Hall, we are not going to draft another running back because that would just tell Harvey.
Because we got Jaleel McLaughlin too.
Well, no, because Sean Payton likes having 3 running backs. You got to remember, McLaughlin and Bidet are both free agents.
Oh, okay.
So if McLaughlin and Bidet are free agents, and that leaves us with right now RJ Harvey, and I can't remember who the other one is.
Schrader.
Yeah.
Schrader.
Right, so that only leaves us with 2 running backs in our running back rooms because, again, J.K. Dobbins is also a free agent. So, who was your draft pick inside? All right, Chiefs, my 3 picks for last night are Notre Dame running back Jadarian Price, Tennessee wide receiver Chris Brazzell, and Texas linebacker Anthony Hill. So, if I don't bring back J.K. and I bring in Brees Hall, and that would mean I would only have Brees Hall and RJ Harvey in my backfield right now. That would be starters. If I were to bring in Jadarian Price, that means I have my 3 running back sets.
And Sean Payton loves his 3 running backs.
And Sean Payton loves his 3 running backs. And then I'm looking at my wide receiver room, and everybody's like, well, we need to go into the free agency for wide receiver. Well, the only player or only wide receiver I really could think of is Mike Evans, but you're going to get a very veteran wide receiver that's going to cost you a lot of money. Now, if I could get this kid out of Tennessee, his speed, his height, and his route ability works great with me. And if I really do a splash in free agency, I'm looking at Brees Hall and David Njoku. And I'm still keeping Evan Ingram.
Yeah, so we can have our tight end. So I got a question for you, Armchair. Do you think Chris will fall that far in the draft?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. They don't even have him as a first-round prospect. They don't have him. They don't have Jadarian Price or Anthony Hill. Any one of the ones I picked as first-round draft picks. They're all second to third-round draft picks.
If we can steal Chris Brazzell in the first round, that would be sick.
Yes, all 3 of my picks were, and that's what I asked them. So when I got with Ward Chant, J-Dub, Colts Nason, CK, and I was like, look, I don't want to go for the guys that everybody's going to go after, in the first round. I'm looking at, if I'm the general manager, these are the players that I'm looking at that are going to be there at number 30. And if I have to, I can even move up in the second round to get another one of these players that's on my list. So if Brazzell, who again is not even a first round draft pick on I have not seen him on a first round draft pick on any mock draft board, none of them. So if I could get him at 30 and I could trade up in the second round and get Jadarian Price at running back, because I have 9 draft picks this year, I can move some draft picks to move up in the second round and get Jadarian Price. And again, I can most likely get Anthony Hill out of Texas in the 3rd round. I'm sitting happy.
So, I'm sure, I like your picks that you just said, but you just said that they weren't first round picks. We pick at 30. We don't have to trade up in the second round. What if we trade back? What if we trade out of the first round? Let someone else trade up in the first round to get the player they want.
I like that, but this is my fear. This is my fear. I love that idea. I do. But there is a team that's right above us, right before us in the draft, that could possibly want to trade, take their pick at number 27, 28, whatever they're at. And then if we go to trade out of the 30th spot, they hop back in and they take Chris Brazzell. That would be the Buffalo Bills. That is my fear.
I don't know if the Bills, because we were talking about this on D's show yesterday. The Bills need a number 1 wide receiver. So my guess is that they're going to go after someone like Boston out of Washington. He's a big target.
Yes, he is.
But if they trade back in the first round to get another wide receiver, then that Tennessee kid could come into play into that. Yes, but
Now, here's another possibility. If I put that pick on the number 30 pick on the board, there is one other team that I see trading for that number 30 pick. And guys might laugh at me, but follow my logic here. They have the number 3 overall pick, and they're not taking a player there. I could see the Arizona Cardinals moving up from the second round to that number 30th pick to take Ty Simpson.
How we doing, Armchair?
I'm doing pretty good, Mike. How about yourself?
So that means the Broncos would be
I'm
trading
feeling a lot better actually ever since Sunday, so easier to talk about now.
Hold on, let me pull up my draft chart.
So,
So what if the Broncos do get traded and they get
so Andre, we were talking about this in D's chat yesterday. So I want your opinion, and C-Ryan was there for this too. So, if you were a GM of a team right now, right, and you know that your defense struggled a little bit, like your defense struggled against the pass rush, your defense struggled against the pass. So you have a pick this year. Do you take the pass rusher to help the secondary, or do you take the secondary to help the pass rusher?
Okay, so what team are we talking about? Any team that is having problems with the pass game, like the Cowboys, the Bills?
Well, so when I was doing it, I was talking about the Jets.
The
And
Jets.
The second pick,
The
either Arvell Reese or Caleb Downs.
Mm.
And I asked the panel, I said, do you take the pass rusher to help the secondary, or do you take the secondary to help the pass rusher?
I'm taking the secondary. I'm taking the secondary because there's a lot of players in free agency that I can pick to help the pass rush.
Well, because in this instance, they had the second pick. They could go Arvell Reese, or they could take this generational talent, Caleb Downs. That's what we're talking about, right?
Right.
Oh, and they also picked again at 16. And I made the picks for the Jets on D's chat yesterday, and I took Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles out of Ohio State for the Jets, right? Okay, that was my picks. But then D said, well, why not Caleb Downs with that pick? So that's why I asked, do you take the secondary to help? Because you got Johnson.
Oh, D heard you talking about him.
And they got McDonald on that team still. Johnson was a first round pick. McDonald was a second round pick in that same draft. They're young pass rushers.
I like it. I do. I like it, but I have a fear. I have a fear. I have a big fear when it comes to the New York Jets. After watching some of the Raiders coach Kubiak yesterday talk about that number 1 overall pick with Mendoza, I've got this sinking feeling that the New York Jets are going to trade their 2 first-round draft picks this year up to number 1 to take Mendoza.
They're not.
I don't know why would they do that.
They're not. And what you gotta understand what smoke and mirrors are, Armchair.
What, baby?
Your room is filled with my
fact
allergies.
Mm-hmm.
Don't attack.
is that Mendoza
Love you.
Love you.
is going to be every bit of what he can be every bit of what Sam Darnold was.
No, he can't. D, no, he can't. No. I'm tired of people building up Mendoza when he only had 1 good year. And let me explain.
And how many did Sam Darnold have before last year?
Let me explain. No, that's pro, though. That's pro. We're talking
How many good
college.
years did he have? And in college, they were the same type of quarterback. If you go look at
Happy
Mendoza,
birthday.
and
Thank
you
you,
go look
son.
at Sam Darnold, college career, he was the same type of quarterback.
Okay, but here's the problem, D, and this is what I've been trying to get across to Raider fans. Where is the biggest problem with the Raiders?
The offensive line.
So if I use my number 1 pick, if I use my number 1 overall pick to draft Mendoza, a rookie quarterback with a rookie first-time head coach,
Yes.
and Mendoza does not perform,
Wait a minute.
hold on, D. Mendoza's not going to get the blame. Kubiak is. What's up,
I
son?
can get the
listening.
I can get the old lineman in free agency, can I?
What?
Can I not?
I'm just listening.
Coach, if I may interject here, I think that's something us Pats fans Patriots need to focus on, because I've heard rumors. Well, I heard that that might be our pick or focus on the draft. And I'm thinking to myself, look, you can go and pick an offensive line person from the draft, but you need like a vet because you saw what happened last time we had like an all rookie
There it is.
line thing right there. And I
No,
need,
you just gotta get the right lineman, bro.
yeah, that's the
Yeah, like what the Bears did.
It don't have to be. It don't have to be a vet. It's
Well, I
a
mean,
rookie that
I
get-
mean, the more experience you have, the better because
Exactly. And
when
it
you
was-
look
the
at
Raiders are trying to
when you
build
look at the
a
Super
better
Bowl,
offensive
because
line
I saw
for
this. I saw this. It was like it looked like it was an all rookie lineup, and we got demolished. Like poor Drake May was like sacked, lost. Like you need to have good.
What's up, JM?
Bro, if you move Will Campbell to guard and go get you a left tackle that is solid in the draft, you'll be all right.
Here's my deal. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I want to get back to this. Here's my deal.
I mean, that's why.
I think Mendoza's a bust.
That's what you think.
I do. I think he's a bust.
I agree. I think he's a bust as well.
I think he's a bust. I think if I don't think now if he were to go, okay, let's take it this way. If he were to go somewhere, if Mendoza was going to go somewhere that here you go, and I know this isn't going to happen. All right, but this is my way of thinking when I look at teams and I look at, and D, I respect you a lot. If he were to go to the Rams, it would be a different story because he would sit a year behind Matthew Stafford and he'd have Sean McVay, the best quarterback coach in the NFL. But again, you are going to a team. You're going to a team that is having a rookie head coach who's now behind everybody, right? He winning the Super Bowl and starting on today on Wednesday, right? He is now starting today. He is behind all 31 other teams on getting his staff together, getting his coordinators, all of that.
There's no way we believe that he didn't know he had that job.
But he still couldn't hire anybody. He couldn't do anything per NFL rules.
He couldn't formally hire
He
him.
could not do anything with the Raiders until the Super Bowl was over because it's considered tampering.
Yes, he couldn't formally hire anybody. I would agree.
So he's behind schedule. We know they need a center. We know they need two guards. We know they need wide receivers because they got rid of Jacoby Myers. Yes, they got Brock Bowers, one of the best rookie or young tight ends in the NFL. Yes, they got Ashton Genty, who had over 1,000 yards rushing last year, but also led the NFL and getting hit the most behind the line of scrimmage. We also know outside of Max Crosby, that defense is a joke. That defense is a joke.
No, that defense was not a joke. No, that defense wasn't a joke. That defense wasn't a joke. I disagree.
That defense wasn't that bad.
That defense was
just on
bad.
the field a lot. No, that defense wasn't bad. That defense was just on the field a lot.
That's why they were bad.
Field a lot.
That's why they were
That doesn't
bad.
make them bad. That doesn't
I
make
don't
them
think they were
bad. That makes them
that
tired.
I truly don't believe they were.
All right, hold on.
That bad.
Was the Houston Texans offense world breakers this year?
No, but they didn't turn the ball over
No.
like Geno Smith.
No, I'll
Yeah,
get it
that's
later.
what the problem was. Geno Smith was bad.
Okay, but hold on though. Hold on. Who had the number one defense throughout the NFL?
The Houston Texans.
And who had one of the worst offenses throughout the NFL? I didn't say the worst, but one of the worst. The Houston Texans.
Also, Armchair, you're trying to prove a point, but you got to be honest with yourself. C.J. Stroud played nowhere near as terrible as Geno Smith. Geno Smith was awful. He was.
Hey, listen, Coach, listen. I agree with you wholeheartedly. But C.J. Stroud, you go from beating the Steelers 3-6 in the wild card to throwing like 4 or 5 interceptions in the divisional round, and just look at the rest of his performance.
I'm not denying any of what you're saying, sir. And you're right. But at the end of it, what I am saying is that as a comparison, C.J. Stroud to Geno Smith, that's where we're at right now. Let's not move out of that box. That's what we want to do. We'll move out of a box to go what he did in the game against another team's defense. What that young man was nowhere near as terrible as Geno Smith. And right now, let me say that I'm going to land this fast.
Again, I'm going to take the plane right off.
You can. The reason why Mendoza is going to work in Las Vegas is because of Kubiak. And like I said, we all said all year Mendoza did this until he played this, until he played that. Then he started beating up on these teams in the playoffs. Mendoza can go short routes. Mendoza can go screens.
Yes,
Mendoza-
Saturn, I do think the possibility of Lamar Jackson getting traded is real.
And just like I said, with Mendoza being able to do those things, that is no different from what Sam Darnold did. Period. Is he going to struggle? Yes, he's supposed to struggle. He's going to be a young quarterback. But if you go get that kid some veteran offensive lineman, and you allow him to, you put training wheels on him, and you allow him to manage games, you got a good and let him build his confidence. You will have a great pick at that number 1 pick.
I'll tell you this. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me answer this in the chat. Hold on. Let me answer the chat real quick. Chief Youth, there are 2 teams that could absolutely go after Lamar Jackson. The Las Vegas Raiders and the Minnesota Vikings. Those are 2 teams that could go after Lamar.
Kubiak is good for Mendoza. I think he'll be good for him.
But when we're talking about CJ Stroud, and I love CJ Stroud, I have been a huge supporter of CJ Stroud. I have been. I like the kid. I like him a lot. But it wasn't just one game, right? Everybody wants to say what happened in the playoffs, but it wasn't one game. Look at the year, right? Look at the year. Look what happened when they went to Seattle. They should have won that game. That defense played lights out against that Seahawks offense. The same Seattle Seahawks offense that won the Super Bowl. They played lights out, forcing 4 turnovers, 1 strap fumble in the end zone for a touchdown. But when the offense got that ball, they turned it right back over. They couldn't move the ball. They were in the red zone, I think, like 5 times and came away with nothing.
That's why that goes to show you need to really fix your offense. I mean,
And the reason why I'm not okay, Mendoza, he had 1 good year in college. One. But when he went up against a good defense, and you have to admit this, that Miami defense in the national championship did not lose that game.
It was the offense.
The offense, they couldn't move the ball.
I don't care.
The offense could not move the ball. The offense could not move. No, it's not that I don't like Mendoza. I do like Mendoza. But we got to quit praising this kid as the next coming of Tom Brady.
No one's calling him that.
Hey, can I cut in here and talk and speak on the Raiders real fast? I appreciate it. Listening. The Raiders have a fundamental issue, and it starts with drafting and decision making.
That's true.
You have all the holes that they have in that roster. You don't take Ashton Jeanty, number 5 overall.
I like that he's playing another year, Saturn.
Mitchell. You don't take Brock Bowers when Quinyon Mitchell, who was a blue chip corner at the time, is on, right? So the biggest mistake the Raiders are going to make is taking Mendoza because they don't have the infrastructure for a rookie quarterback to be successful. What they should do is let another team get obsessed with Mendoza and stockpile picks so they can rebuild from the inside out. But
and then what?
I mean,
and then what? When do you find out? Where is the franchise? Okay, wait. I believe in all that. Where's the franchise quarterback at then?
Next year?
They don't need one. You get the franchise quarterback.
You're getting that kid. Let's see. You got Sam Levesque coming out next year. You have Lenore Sellers, and I'm gonna say, and I hope he has a better year.
Listen, as Denver fans, we are all very familiar with the Kubiak family.
Yep.
The Kubiak that the Raiders just hired is not his father. Okay? If you draft a rookie quarterback into that type of culture and team,
No, CJ Stroud will never win a Super Bowl defense. Yeah, defense wins championships, 100%.
You don't know that.
Kenny Pickett is the future quarterback. I love that, Chris. I love it.
You don't know that.
You want to know another issue with the Raiders is the same issues that the Chargers have? The Raiders don't even have home games. The Raiders Stadium is a tourist attraction.
You don't know that. You're
When
guessing
Denver
that.
goes to Vegas, it's a home game for Denver.
Listen to me. You wouldn't even have said that Drake May was.
Oh, K9 is absolutely not going anywhere.
You wouldn't have said that last year, would you?
Yeah, Sauce Gardner was not worth 2 first-round draft picks, in my opinion.
We all
Oh, they
watched
called
Paper
screwed
May
themselves when they
fold
did
when he
that.
went up against solid teams. He
All right,
was
hey,
trash
hey,
the
hey,
entire
why is
the
it that my
playoffs.
question got ignored? Why is it that my question got ignored?
I'm
What
just
was
answering the
your question? I
chat.
didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I said, you wouldn't have said that the Patriots would have been in the Super Bowl this year with Drake May as second-year quarterback, would you?
No,
The problem is nobody saw that coming. I
You
mean, I
would,
think.
no, let me finish, let me finish.
There is a possibility that he does not come back to Jacksonville.
Let me finish, let me finish, let me finish, let me finish. You wouldn't have said Denver would have had the record they would have had and been that type of team that they had with Bo Nix, because Bo Nix was ridiculed. He wasn't doing this, he wasn't doing that. Did you say that?
Yes, I did.
After
Not
watching
you.
Bo
I'm
Nix,
Oh, okay, I'm about to say, like, wait a minute, D, you were here when I said that.
To the panel. I'm talking to the panel. Now, what I am saying is, you do not have a definite on what Kubiak is going to do with this young man. That's what your thought process is.
I don't think they go after Mike Evans, no.
No one, everybody said all year long was Sam Darnold was going to turn into a pumpkin. Sam Darnold's going to turn into a pumpkin. He never turned into the pumpkin. You
he
don't
has
know.
a solid offensive line and maybe the best receiver in the league.
Bro, you know they had 3 rookies on or 2 rookies on that offensive line. You don't know.
That's
Sam
he's
Darnold
wrong.
is
He's not
throwing
wrong.
to Jackson
You don't
Smith
know.
and Jigba, brother.
Coach,
Yeah, but they said the
You
Broncos are
don't
two
know.
are two Seahawks for top 5 teams for Kenneth
They
Walker.
don't have
I
an
agree with
offensive
you.
line. They have
I don't think I really don't think Kenneth Walker goes anywhere. I think that they're gonna give him a big payday.
In this free agency, if they
Armchair, I got a
spend
question
money in
for
free
you.
agency and get offensive linemen, that would be a perfect fit.
You have
And
to
then they'll get it
have
done.
the correct infrastructure
you
for
don't
a rookie
understand.
quarterback.
Okay, hold on. Somebody's got a question for me. What's your question?
So out of the two Super Bowl teams this year, New England and Seattle, which of those two is going to do even better next year?
New
Oh,
Well, I do have to agree with Demarius. You know, the Raiders, as much as I hate them as a Broncos fan, I hate the Raiders, but if they get a couple offensive linemen and they trade Max Crosby, get some more draft picks and more capital, they could be a really good team.
all right.
We don't live.
If you'll let me answer this question, and I have a reasoning for it.
Not letting good offensive linemen walk.
You just said what you said.
Hold on, let me answer this question. Thank you, Mom.
Go ahead, answer it.
All right, so who out of the 2 teams that were in the Super Bowl are going to be better next year? I'm going to say the Seattle Seahawks. And the reasoning I have.
Oh my God.
Hold on, D, and I think you're going to agree with
Let him
this.
answer.
No, I'm not.
I hope
No,
they
I'm not.
beat the
The Seattle Seahawks play in a way tougher division than New England. We can all agree with that.
That don't matter, though.
He's not. No,
I'm not talking schedule, I'm talking division. The Seattle Seahawks play in the NFC West. You got to play the 49ers twice, you got to play the Rams twice, and you got to play the Cardinals twice. Now, the Cardinals, okay, we're going to take the Cardinals off. But when you look at the Patriots, they play the Bills twice, the Jets twice, and the Dolphins twice. The Jets are in shambles. The Dolphins are about to go on a fire sale with everybody. So when I look at it, and now you've got a 3rd-year quarterback, and Drake May, who played very well, right? Except for the turnover problems with fumbling and the sack problems, but that's on the offensive line. Now they are number 1 in their division. They are going to go up against a number 1 division schedule. Okay? They're going to go up against the number 1 division schedule, which means the final 3 games outside of their division and the 2 other divisions that they play will be 3 other teams that all won their division. They did not have that this year. Now, I do not go off of strength of schedule. I go off of strength of division. I do not do the strength of schedule because this 2025's teams are not going to be 2026 teams. They're not. You lose coaches, you lose coordinators, you lose players. It's not the same teams.
Yep.
So when I look at it, who has a chance to be better? You didn't ask me who had a chance to grow. Now, if you were asking me who had a better chance to grow, that would be the Patriots. But if who has a chance to be better, it's the Seahawks because they play in a tougher division. They have a tougher defense. They have a better running game. They have a better wide receiver room. So, but if you would have asked me who has a better chance to
I
grow,
just want to throw this out there. What happened to Philly last year when Kellen Moore left?
I know, but that's because of Sirianni.
Armchair, just when you get a chance, follow-up question. What would you have to see from the Patriots in order for you to say, yeah, they're going to definitely be back at the Super Bowl?
What I need to see from the Patriots, number one, wide receivers. You can't count on Stephon Diggs. I love Stephon Diggs, but you can't count on him. You got to go get some better targets for Drake May, especially breakaway targets.
Chris, what did I say yesterday?
Offensive line. Offensive line is a key factor for me for the Patriots. I'm thinking a left tackle. You don't really need to do a lot on that O-line. I think you need to go get a left tackle and move your left tackle to left guard. And in my opinion, I love their rookie running back. He should be better next year. You might want to look at another running back as well. But somebody to protect Drake May, especially on your bookings, you need a different left tackle. I think you need another wide receiver. And it would not even hurt to go get another good corner. I'm not saying great, but good corner to be on the opposite side of Gonzo. I love Christian Gonzalez. I think he's a phenomenal player.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, but also on top of that, you have one of my favorite head coaches in the NFL, Mike Vrabel.
He's fantastic.
Mike Vrabel has seen what is up with this team. And Mike Vrabel's going to fix it. He's going to fix it 100%. I have all faith in the world for Mike Vrabel. But again, when I look at the strength of division, I don't have the Buffalo Bills winning that division. I don't know why they already have the Bills winning that division. It makes no sense. They lose Sean McDermott, and their new head coach is their former offensive coordinator, and that front office is in shambles. I don't understand it.
I have to say this, Armchair. I mean, Josh Allen, I have to say this with respect to the Buffalo Bills. They are a fantastic team. Josh Allen is a fantastic quarterback. You have to give all the credit to him in the world. But
I do not.
See, here's the thing. They had all that time within the past 4 or 5 years when the Patriots were just to go to the Super Bowl, and they didn't. And then in 1 year with Mike Vrabel as their head coach, the Patriots went back. What does that tell you about Buffalo?
I get you, but I don't think the coach that they picked is the right coach.
Yeah.
Hey, Armchair.
Yes.
I know all these other AFC teams, the ones that we went against in playoffs. Do you think the Broncos are going to back, or do you think we're going to miss the Super Bowl again this season?
Here's the key factor, and this is what everybody's got to think of. Injuries are a key number one factor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Injuries are a factor, so we can never say this team's making it, that team's making it, because we don't know who's going to get injured. But if you look at the Broncos, could they go back to the AFC Championship game and possibly make it to the Super Bowl? 100% they can. If they fix their running game, if they fix their wide receiver room. I said it all year.
Our schedule's going to be harder this year as well.
Exactly. We're going to have the number one schedule, right? Because we were number one in the division. So outside of the division we play in, the two divisions we've got to play in, the three teams will be number one teams in their division. So will Seattle. So will Jacksonville. They're all again, but that's going off of strength of schedule, which I don't use. I use strength of division. And on top of that, the Broncos in 2026 are not going to be the same team as they were in 2025.
We all know, we feel.
That's what I'm saying. Why are we not waiting until the offseason and get over with before we start talking Super Bowl?
Because they've already got odds out on who's the Super Bowl favorite is for next year. And right now they have the Seattle Seahawks as number one odds favorite, and number two is the Rams.
They do that to take your money. That's why they put the odds on.
You know that the Cardinals have worse odds to win next year's Super Bowl than the Cleveland Browns?
Yikes.
Well, the Cleveland Browns are solid. Not solid, but they always play hard.
I'm sure I had one more question when you had the chance.
What's that, brother?
So does the Arizona Cardinals.
I'm just trying to let him finish. So the Broncos play the Seahawks this year, but so does New England. Out of those two matchups, which one has more likelihood of being what's that saying? Game of the week.
Well, I think they're both are going to be, because I think that the Seattle Seahawks are going to play the New England Patriots to start the league year. I think that is going to be their kickoff game. It's going to be the Seahawks versus Patriots Super Bowl rematch. I really do.
Like, I'm saying, like, what would be the better, like, what would be most exciting? Because the Broncos play the Seahawks. Broncos are fantastic on defense. And, you know, New England has some stuff to work on defense, too. But, you know, it's like...
It's really hard to say. It's really hard to say until after March 11th. It really is, because you got free agency that's coming around. And yes, I do believe K9 will return to Seattle. I don't see any possibility, unless they decide to pay all these other players so much money that they don't have money to give to K9, that he is not back in Seattle. I know they're wanting to extend Sam Darnold. I believe they're wanting to extend JSN, and they're wanting to extend a defensive player. But you've got to bring back Kenneth Walker.
I mean, I would think that, you know, both games will be exciting. I mean, Denver, like I said, has a fantastic defense. And, you know, if Bo Nix can get back into his rhythm, I mean, he could give Seattle a run for their money, if that makes any sense. And I feel like, on the other hand, New England going to Seattle, like, that could be like, you know, New England's just ticked off. Like, they want to really put on a show.
I'm doing all right, Martin.
Hey, I got a hot take for you, Armchair. This is going to sound crazy, but I think Bo Nix will have an MVP season this year.
The only way Bo Nix has an MVP season is if they get another wide receiver, and our wide receivers remember that they get paid to catch a ball.
Yep.
That's it right there. That's the only way. Right now, the favorite odds to win the MVP is Caleb Williams.
Oh, God.
Oh,
And Caleb Williams?
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Like Caleb Williams' dad, he was good.
Who do I got for the 2027 Hall of Fame? Well, I'm hoping that Belichick gets in.
Put Bill Belichick in the Hall of Fame.
I
don't know what.
I'm hoping that Eli Manning finally gets in.
They're disrespecting Eli Manning way too much.
Do you guys
I don't
agree
like
that Caleb Williams is better than Drake May?
Why they disrespecting Eli Manning?
That might be a bit of a stretch.
I'm hearing that Sean Payton could give up play calling.
It's a stretch.
He needs to give up play calling, because I even spoke with a Broncos fan the other day. I think he keeps repeating the same play calls over and over again. What was it? Screens. And that costs him sometimes. Especially in the 2025
how
season.
old school Sean Payton is. I don't believe it until I see it.
What's up, Armchair?
What's up?
Would you agree, Armchair?
What?
That Sean Payton keeps repeating the same play calls over and over again using screen calls.
His scheme, yes, it's kind of old school.
Okay.
But, you know, going into next year, there's a lot of things. You can't really say who's going to be and who's not, because right now there are a bunch of teams that are still over the salary cap, and they've got until the 9th of next month to start working. Well, they got to be working on it now, but really the 9th to 11th of next month to get under the salary cap. Then you have free agency, and I think this free agency is going to be absolutely wild. I really do. I think this has the makings of being a very fantastic free agency, not only by signing, but trading of players, right? You've got the Cardinals who want to trade Kyler Murray. You have the Dolphins who want to trade Tua Tagovailoa. You have the Raiders possibly wanting to trade for Lamar Jackson. You have the Vikings wanting to go trade for a veteran quarterback because they're about done with J.J. McCarthy. You got the Atlanta Falcons that have no idea what's going to happen with Michael Penix Jr. Kirk Cousins wants out. And so there is so many possibilities of what's going to happen. So many. And what happens in free agency, you know, via signing and trade, 100% is going to affect what happens come the end of April on draft day.
Yep.
So trying to pick who's going to be who's going to do what, especially 3 days after the Super Bowl, it's kind of hard to do because you don't know what these teams are going to look like. I mean, if Lamar leaves Baltimore, okay, everybody's got Baltimore like the fourth or fifth team with the best odds to win a Super Bowl. But if Lamar leaves, does that odds change? You better believe it does. And on top of that, the Ravens are going in with a new head coach. Look at the Giants. Look what the Giants did last year with an intern head coach, and now you've got John Harbaugh. You're going to have a healthy Cam Scatterbo back. You're going to have a healthy Malik Neighbors. You're going to have a full off season with Harbaugh and Jackson Dart. Tennessee has got $100 million or over $100 million in cap space to play with in free agency, plus a new head coach. Arizona is going to create a lot of cap space with the Kyler Murray deal, and they've got a new head coach.
I doubt he leaves because considering he's the reason Harbaugh got fired. No. Well, I don't think he was the reason Harbaugh got fired. I think Harbaugh, it was his own downfall.
If the Ravens made it to the playoffs, I doubt Harbaugh gets fired. And I had said going into the playoffs that if the Bills did not make it to the Super Bowl, I didn't say win it. I said made it. Sean McDermott was going to be gone because the Bills were going to say, well, that was our only chance, and they were going to put all the blame on McDermott. No, I don't think there will be a time in the NFL where all 32 teams have a quarterback because it's never happened. There's not that many quarterbacks to go around. There's just not. And you could put that blame on a lot of things. Bad development, underutilization, stubbornness of coaches. There's a lot you can put the blame on why there isn't that many franchise quarterbacks. Right now, we can blame the NIL deals because players are staying in college longer because they're making more money than they would make going into the NFL. Right? I mean, Carson Beck made more money in 1 year in Miami than a lot of rookie quarterbacks made this year. Or even second-year quarterbacks.
I hate to interrupt you, but I do have to head out. But I appreciate the opportunity to come up on here, and hope you have a good day.
You too, Mike. Thanks for coming in, brother.
Yep. Take care.
So there are a lot of factors. Now, okay, we know that 2027, you're going to have Arch Manning, you're going to have Lenore Sellers, you're going to have Sam Levitt. I don't know what these quarterbacks are going to look like in college next year. I really don't. I can speculate and I can hope, but there isn't enough quarterbacks to go around. And you can have the whole idea of a franchise quarterback. Would I rather have a franchise quarterback who has to do everything for my team, or would I rather have a quarterback that can operate my offense with a team around him and still win games? What's the problem with that? Why can't I have a quarterback that knows my offense inside out, backwards, forwards, upside down, and all of that, and a team built around him with a defense, running game, and wide receivers? Why do I have to have a Lamar Jackson? Why do I have to have a Josh Allen? Why do I have to have a Patrick Mahomes? Sam Darnold is not a franchise quarterback and just won a freaking Super Bowl. He is not a franchise quarterback. They do not put the entire team on Sam Darnold's shoulders and say, go win us a Super Bowl. That's not what happened, and they just won.
But is that the real definition of franchise quarterbacks?
Yes.
Because to me, a franchise quarterback is quarterbacks who can run your system the way you want to run. I mean, as long as the coaches run. Because look at Brock Purdy.
Right, but see, they say quarterbacks like Brock Purdy would not do good without the system that he's in. He is a system quarterback. So he's not titled a franchise quarterback. He's titled a system quarterback.
I think all these quarterbacks are system quarterbacks.
They should be. I would want a system quarterback. If I am running an offense that relies heavily on 11 personnel, 12 personnel, 21 personnel, 3 tight end sets, 4 wide receivers, I want a quarterback that knows that system in, out, up, down, all around. I don't care.
And that's my franchise quarterback.
But that's not what they call them. They call them system quarterbacks. Josh Allen is considered a franchise quarterback, but he has no Super Bowls. Joe Burrow is a franchise quarterback. 0 Super Bowls. Lamar Jackson, franchise quarterback. 0 Super Bowls. Brock Purdy is a system quarterback, but he's been to 2 Super Bowls. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, 1 Super Bowl. But been to the NFC Championship twice. And I've stated this multiple times.
But wait. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. And I see this guy on the bottom talking about the 49ers as a great system. Right. Because Nick Mullins ran that system so well. So did C.J. Beathard. Wrong, they didn't. And let me just say this. This is the thing. I don't care what they say. Let me ask you what you say. Let me ask you what you say about it. Because I agree with Rodney. Every quarterback is a system quarterback if that's the case. And these quarterbacks that they're calling elite, what have they done so elite? Because I haven't seen it. If you're such an elite quarterback, I know, let me give you my reasoning. If Josh Allen is such a
What's going on, Jeff?
Why is it that you always got to play from behind? Why aren't you consistently scoring touchdowns when you get on the field offensively?
Well, I hope that didn't come across as me berating these.
I know you didn't. But I'm asking that question to the guys that say to determine who's elite and who's not elite. If Josh Allen is so elite, how come every time he steps on the field, he doesn't? And it ain't like we're saying, oh man, Josh Allen's receivers are dropping his pass. That's not what's happening.
Josh Allen is good.
Think about this real quick, right? Everybody wants to talk about Bo Nix and how bad Bo Nix is. Imagine if Bo Nix did not have the NFL's second worst drop rate in the NFL. Imagine that.
Right.
Imagine that his wide receivers were not second in the NFL in drops. Imagine if Trevor Lawrence's wide receivers were not number 1 in the NFL in drop passes.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But hold on, Chris, 1 second. I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna go back on.
What's up, Chester the Gamer?
That's what I'm saying. If Bo Nix receivers catch 50% or more of them passes, we're looking at the receivers different. We're not saying they need to go get a receiver. If Josh Allen has these different receivers around him, so that means he needs a system around him to be successful.
Say something, right? Say something.
He needs a system around him to be successful. So in their case, all of these people is system quarterback. Now they want to put down stars. That's something different. But everybody is system quarterback at the end of the day.
Did you know that if Bo Nix's wide receivers caught 50% of those drop passes, he would have an MVP season?
I want to say this. Let me ask this. Unequivocally, can we say that Sam Darnold is the sole reason why the Seahawks are the Super Bowl champions?
No.
What's the first thing you think about with that team?
First, I'm going to say a joke, D, so don't jump on me. Field goal kicker. We could have won the MVP, but I'm going to say defense.
Okay, so when we think about that, football is the ultimate team sport. That's why, as a Niner fan, I was happy to see the Seahawks win because they won as a whole team. This nonsense that these people are talking about, if you got a quarterback that can get under there and be competent and do his job, that's what you want. All of this stuff talking about how Lamar Jackson, and that's why I say, why, if they're superstars, why are they constantly playing from behind and having to do these quote-unquote Superman things to try to win games? It's, for me, I don't want a comic book here. I want a guy that's going, listen, what I loved about my Niners in the 80s was how we just systematically went down the field. In the 80s and the 90s, the Niners with their offense just systematically went down the field. Most of the time, yeah. Would they stall out a couple of times? Yeah, but they systematically went down the field. But if you're not that, I don't want it. I don't want to play from behind. I don't want that.
I agree, and that's why I love Brock Purdy, and I'm tired of Brock Purdy not getting the props that he should. Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback.
So I'm just saying, man, like, we talk about system quarterbacks and system players or whatever, man. Like, this is just my thought, man. Is every coach has their preference, right, man? Like, so say you're in a draft and you got a dude that runs a 4.2 40 and a dude that runs a 4.6 40. But this 4.6 40 guy runs routes. He catches pass consistently. This guy that runs a 4.2 40, yeah, he's fast. He's going to be behind the defense. But how many drops is this guy going to have? So you got to prioritize. What do you want? You want the guy that can catch, or do you want that guy that's going to be, oh, he's the flashy guy. He's going to give us 2 deep touchdowns in every single game.
I want the guy that can catch the damn ball.
Exactly. That's exactly the point. So again, we go off of what these talking heads be talking about, but the truth of it is, like what Wright said, the truth of it is we have to look at what's actually happening on the field. And what's actually happening on the field is that guys like Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are fantasy overhypers, and that's what everybody wants to see, that the madness. But if we're talking football, man, give me Bo Nix, give me Drake May, give me Brock Purdy, give me Sam Darnold, give me
Matthew Stafford.
Give me those styles. Give me Joe Burrow too, because I just believe Joe Burrow is just playing in a bad offense. But give me Joe Burrow, give me that style of quarterback, and you can keep all that flash. I don't need it. I need a guy that's gonna go out there and be competent and run my system. And like I hear all air, the Niners got a great system. Man, I can name several quarterbacks. Brian Hoyer looked trash in that system. Nick Mullins, trash in that system. C.J. Beathard, trash in that system. And they don't all look great in that system. Just because Trey Lance did not look good in the system. He held the ball way too long. They don't all look good in the system. It's been 3 guys that have ran the system well, which would be Jimmy Garoppolo, Brock Purdy, and Mac Jones. But even with me and Mac Jones, you guys heard me say this last year. I don't like Mac Jones at quarterback. Why? Because he was a statue. And if his first read wasn't there, we were toast. And I said that. But he is a good back. He's a good enough backup to hold you down for a couple of years.
You know, that is a problem, and that's a discussion, D, you and I have had many a times about the NFL and quarterbacks and stuff like that. And number one, there's not enough quarterbacks to go around. Again, that's what I have problems with this year going into 2026. All these teams that are going to be looking for quarterbacks, there's not enough to go around. And if you are not willing to take the time to develop a quarterback, you're just going to be having a revolving door at quarterback.
So, and that's why I said what I was saying earlier, where Mendoza is going to be a good fit if Boldcut gets out of the way, allows Kubiak to make this young man a good quarterback. I believe the Kubiak family is very smart. One of them is Clint came from San Francisco. They all were in San Francisco, but the Kubiak family has done wonders. I mean, listen, the dad made Brock Osweiler look good.
Yep.
Let's be honest. And so they can make quarterbacks look good. They know how.
Yeah,
He'll make Mendoza look good.
Yeah, like you said, he made Brock Osweiler like MVP quarterback for one game.
I mean, look, I'm looking at Miami. Do they go with even Pittsburgh? Let's throw Pittsburgh in there, right? Some people have Pittsburgh taking Ty Simpson in the draft.
They got to give Will Allen a chance. They got to give him a chance.
I agree 100%. I think Indianapolis needs to give Leonard a chance.
Riley Leonard. He said.
Riley Leonard. Thank you, Leonard. Yeah, Riley Leonard out of Notre Dame. I think they need to give him a chance. I seriously do. I mean, I get it. Everybody wants Indiana Jones back in Indiana. Dude's coming off of a fractured leg and a torn Achilles tendon towards the end of the year. And he's a free agent. I am not giving up a ton of money on that.
You know what, Armchair, I was doing some reading on the latest discoveries on these Achilles tendons and the doctors that have been fixing them. Man, the medicine is so different from when, even a couple of years back when these guys were tearing their Achilles and they'd be out for a year. Man, the medicine is so different now, and what they discovered on how to fix it because they've been dealing with it so much. You'd be amazed amazed that it's not as big as a setback as it. I mean, if
Yeah,
George
look
Kittle.
at Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I was gonna say, look at ACL injuries and how that used to be.
Yeah. I mean, and quite frankly, they were saying that Nick Bosa, if he wanted to push it, he could have played in the playoffs.
I'm looking at it that way though, D, as in money aspect.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Okay.
The money aspect. I've got a team that I do not have a first round draft pick this year. I don't have a first round draft pick for next year because I traded that away for Sauce Gardner. So I don't have 2 first round draft picks in the next 2 years.
It was a terrible trade.
Which was a horrible trade. Horrible trade. I've got a good running back. I've got a wide receiver I've got to re-sign. I've got a good tight end. Give my rookie quarterback a chance while he's under a rookie deal. Why am I going to financially cap my team with a quarterback when I have a second-year player now, Riley Leonard, out of Notre Dame? I can see what I have in him this year. I could possibly see what I have in him next year. And if it doesn't work out, I don't financially strap my team. And I could use that money on other areas of that team to build around him instead of going, yep, I'm about to drop $140, $170 million on this guy.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I believe if the Colts would have played Riley Leonard down the stretch, they probably would have went to the playoffs.
Hey, remember yesterday I was saying how we should get Travis Kelce? I wasn't very good under pressure. I've never been under pressure. The reason why I want Travis Kelce because of his experience. He could coach up Caleb Warner and Evan Ingram. Just imagine how good Evan Ingram could be if he had a little bit more of that kind of coaching from an experienced tight end. One of the best tight ends in the league right now.
I'll take him on a good deal.
I would never bring Travis Kelce in that service.
Stay where you at, man.
I would never bring Travis Kelce in that service to my young team.
I can tell you this right now. Travis Kelce's either going back to the Chiefs or nowhere else. If he signs with any other team, I'm going to be overly shocked.
Why would I bring?
Stay where you at, man.
If I'm going to spend money on a tight
You
end.
asked me why. You asked me why. Can I answer?
Oh, go ahead, D.
This is why. Travis Kelce right now is a sideshow. With that whole Taylor Swift thing, he's a sideshow. He's not football. And Travis Kelce will spend more time trying to do, like at this point in his career, he's not that Travis Kelce from 4 years ago. His mindset is not even that Travis Kelce from 4 years ago. He doesn't finish plays. If you go back and go check out All 22 and watch him on All 22 where he's not even finishing his routes.
Go watch the Super Bowl against the Eagles. When they lost to the Eagles, he did the same thing. Now, if there is a tight end in free agency,
if you're a tight end, David Njoku.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say. David Njoku.
The Broncos are tied to them somehow. I think that's who they're going to go grab.
I think if there are 2 players in free agency that the Broncos are going to go after, it's going to be David Njoku and Breece Hall.
I've been saying that for a long time.
Those are the 2 players I do see the Broncos going
If
after.
they get those 2 in free agency, like what would that do for us? Would that make
You still need wide receiver help.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't really think you need wide receiver. David Njoku is your wide receiver.
You still need wide receiver help.
Yeah.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do. We're gonna disagree on that one.
You were, hold on. See, right, brother, I love you, but we were second in the NFL in drop passes.
Okay. Us going to go draft a rookie receiver is not going to help that. He's not going to put him on the field like that. I'm telling you right now, he's in love. He's in love. He's in love with this wide receiver.
And you know what? See, right, that may be the biggest problem. It may not be personnel. It may be coaching.
We fired our wide receiver coach.
We did fire our wide receiver coach.
When we run out there next year with the same wide receiver core, I want y'all to remember this.
There is nothing wrong with drafting a Chris Braswell in the draft. Nothing wrong with it. Because you got to think about this, right? What happened when Pat Bryant got hurt? What happened when Troy Franklin got hurt?
Yeah, but Chris Braswell is going to have to go to it. Like, I see a different shape, but I'm going to leave that alone.
Well, I like Chris Brazel out of Tennessee because of his size and his hands. He's a great red zone target.
Because that name is tied to my show today. So.
And what I love of David Njoku, yeah, because you keep Evan Ingram, you run a 21 personnel, 12 personnel with 2 tight end sets.
That was my question.
Yeah, you're gonna still you're still gonna keep Evan Ingram. And if you go and get Brees Hall in free agency, I still think you need to draft another running back because then you're only going to have 2 running backs. Well, technically 3, but really 2, which would be Brees Hall and R.J. Harvey. So I like Jordanian Price out of Notre Dame.
J.K. Dobbins on a cheap deal.
That all depends on.
I take J.K. Dobbins. I'll take him back.
Again,
I wouldn't. J.K. Dobbins is. Listen, I love the kid, and he's a damn good football player. But them injuries at some point just get to the point where it's like, dude, and he never just gets that.
Yes.
But he never gets.
Yes, Kyle Pitts is a free agent out of Atlanta.
That season-ending injury.
But I think he's going to cost more money. Let me look.
We could just stay out.
I think Kyle Pitts is gonna cost more money than a David Njoku.
Kyle Pitts is not leaving Atlanta.
Oh, I don't think he's leaving Atlanta either.
Stefanski is not stupid.
All right, so Kyle Pitts' market value is $10.8 million. David Njoku is $9.9 million market value.
And that doesn't mean that they're going to, because those guys now, and I believe David Njoku is going to go somewhere where he wants to go, and he'll probably take less money to be somewhere where he wants to be.
What's going on? How's South Africa doing? So David Njoku's been in 8 years. Kyle Pitts has been in for 5 years. I still don't think that I agree with D. I don't think Kyle Pitts leaves Atlanta, especially if they get a different quarterback. Again, I don't know what's going on with Michael Penix Jr. I don't know if he's coming back. I don't even know if he's going to be able to be cleared to play. This is what, his 4th, 5th, 100th. I don't know how many ACL injury. He's also got shoulder problems. Kirk Cousins once gone. So again, like I said, come the 9th, March 9th through March 11th, there's going to be a lot of moves being made. A lot.
Who has 4 ACL injuries?
And then on top of that, we're waiting to see what happens with Pittsburgh, because there's been rumors floating around that if Aaron Rodgers does not come back to Pittsburgh, that's where Kyler Murray could go.
Lou, let me say this. The Titans are quietly putting together a pretty good coaching staff. Quietly.
The Titans have got coaching staff. I love Brian Daboll as their offensive coordinator, and they have $100 million to play with.
And they just hired Callahan as the quarterbacks coach.
They have got money and coaches to play in this. They could make a big dip. They could do that. The Titans could do what the Patriots did, right? The Patriots went out and spent $150 million in free agency last year. Titans could do the same thing. They could do the same thing. Now, they technically spent $75 million, but when you add up all of the contracts together, it's like totals like $150 million. But the Titans could literally go out and drop $80 million in free agency this year. And they could really bring in some key pieces. They really could work on their wide receiver core, their offensive line, and that defense. And now with Brian Daboll as their offensive coordinator, they got a good quarterbacks coach. On top of that, you got a second-year Cam Ward, who really did not play all too bad in his first year.
Hey, earlier you said something about when the question was asked who's going to be better. the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. And the reason why I said New England is because with Kubiak leaving that building, Kubiak's going to take a lot of that offense out of that building with him. And
The offense or the staff?
I'm talking about staff.
Okay.
That's a lot of the offense too. Listen, I Jackson and Jigma was great, but then I did watch him get shut down. So listen, I'm just telling you, watch how this offense was ran. If you can't, and what makes it bad for Seattle is that this hiring happened so late.
Yep.
So they weren't able to get anybody else.
Yep.
That can almost be like him.
Yeah, that's the problem. Again, that's the problem with being the team in the Super Bowl, losing coaches.
They will not be going back to the Super Bowl. They'll be lucky if they make the playoffs. The Seahawks.
Yeah, because then it gets. Sometimes they do if they could get back, but it's gonna be harder. It's gonna be harder this year.
Oh yeah, way harder.
Well, 49ers are gonna come back, have to come back healthy and stay healthy. See what Matthew Stafford does in his last dance.
That's all D.
Yeah.
What's up with the Niners? What's going on there?
What do you mean?
What are they gonna do?
With what?
What?
The banged up Niner game.
This offseason, are they gonna let people go, or
listen? The Niners right now, the best thing that happened to the Niners that everybody is just throwing under the rug is the fact that we're gonna recop that money from the terrible signing of Brandon Ayuk.
Hey, don't disrespect your buddy like that.
You're gonna have a chance. I'm not gonna even listen. I'm not even dignifying that.
He's your best friend. He's talking about them.
You're gonna have a chance then now to build your team and put players back in that building.
Right, you're gonna have $25.5 million in cap space.
No, we actually
what's up with Christian McCaffrey? Is he coming back?
Yeah, he's under contract.
I'm about to say he's under contract.
I know, but for how long?
He's under contract till 2028. He's only making $10.8 million.
To me, that doesn't matter because right now, if I'm the Niners, one of my draft picks that I have on my board for the Niners, which is gonna piss ARMCHAIR off, is one Jadorian Price out of Notre Dame.
You can't have him.
There with
I claimed him first. I claimed claimies.
To pair with Christian McCaffrey, as Christian McCaffrey is getting ready to make his way out of the NFL. And Jadorian Price not only can run the ball and hit the home run, he can catch the ball out of the backfield. Him and when you look at him and Jeremiah Love, they were 1A and 1B. And dude,
yeah, that's what I was saying earlier.
And I'm keeping it a buck with you. If the Niners somehow in the fourth round or third round get Jadorian, fourth round get Jadorian Price. Jadorian, because we got the Niners we got 3 fourth-round picks.
I claimed dibs. I already claimed dibs. You can't take him.
Huh?
I don't think he'll fall that far.
Well, but even here's another bat that nobody's looking at that I like. Singleton out of Penn State. He wanted to see somebody's gonna fall. So either one, I'm okay with getting.
Hey,
All right,
Singleton broke his leg at the Senior Bowl, man.
I didn't see Singleton right now.
All right, the 49ers have 9 draft picks.
Yeah, you did, D.
They have 9 draft picks. 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 3 4s, 1-5, 1-6, and 1-7. They have 3 4s.
3 4s?
Yeah, 3 4s. Just
You
3.
know what that means, right? Them 3 4s I have running back, tight end, and another D tackle.
We got 2 fourth-round picks.
Who do they have you guys taking in the first round?
Oh, they got us taking something ridiculous. We have to take the best edge rusher available.
Hold on, let me pull. I've got 2 mock drafts up. I'm going to look at both of them. Right now, I'm going to give you CBS's mock draft. And they have the 49ers taking... Monroe Feeling, offensive tackle out of Georgia. That's CBS. That's
I
CBS.
know, I told you. I've looked at them all on Twitter. I can tell you exactly who they are. I know all of them already. I looked at them all.
And then NFL.com, the one that came out this morning, has you guys taking Kenyon Sadiq, tight end out of Oregon.
And that's not our style.
Why would
We don't
you?
ever take tight. That's not our style.
I don't-
It's good, but that's not our style. We wouldn't take no tight end with our first pick.
I don't get that pick at all. I don't understand that one.
That's, and I'm gonna tell you, the Niners know they have to build that defense.
Well, hell, they have the Broncos. NFL.com has the Broncos taking Peter Woods, defensive tackle out of Clemson. Why do we need a defensive tackle? We have 3 of them.
I don't know, man.
That makes it. What is this guy with CB or with NFL.com thinking? Let's see. Who do they even have? I wonder if the NFL.com has Ty Simpson as a first round draft pick.
No, Mel Kiper does.
Oh, well, we all know Mel Kiper does.
Mel Kiper, your buddy with the great hair, has.
Oh yeah, my buddy, my pal, good old Mel.
You can't stand Mel Kiper, can you?
Oh, he's my best friend. Him and Nick Wright both, man, they're my buddies.
Stephen A is his best friend.
Yes.
Mel Kiper Jr. and Nick Wright are my buddies. We talk on a daily basis.
And my 2 best friends are Stephen A. Smith and Cam Newton. Oh man,
I can't ever get a hold of D. He's always on the phone with them.
And Skip.
Nah, Skip Bayless is an afterthought. Skip Bayless is an afterthought.
No, Skip Bayless is every Cowboys buddy.
Yeah.
Here's the
Skip. How you gonna tell me? I miss Shannon, Skip, and Shannon Sharp, man.
Oh yeah, Shannon's my favorite.
Skip,
No
Skip.
joke.
Everybody loves Skip.
You know he's from Oklahoma City?
Well, that kind of where him and Jerry Jones kind of met, because he was a beat writer. There we go. Let's see what Espen has.
Sorry guys.
See what Espen has. All right, here we go. Let's see. Let's see where they have Ty Simpson. If they have him a first round draft pick. Wow. ESPN has Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, Arizona State, going to New Orleans. Jeremiah Love, Notre Dame, going to Kansas City. They have Ruben Bain falling all the way to 10 to the Bengals. They have the Cowboys taking Sonny Styles, linebacker, Ohio State. They have the Rams at 13 taking Jermod McCoy, cornerback. Let's see. Edge Miami, Edge Auburn. They have ESPN has Pittsburgh Steelers at 21, taking Ty Simpson. They have 49ers at 27, taking KC Concepcion, wide receiver, Texas A&M.
Concepcion.
And they have, ESPN has the Denver Broncos at number 30, taking Kenyon Sadiq, tight end, Oregon. Who on this panel thinks that Kenyon Sadiq is falling to number 30?
You want Derrick Henry?
I do.
Really?
I do too.
You guys have him falling that far?
Look at the teams. You gotta look at the team needs.
And the needs. You gotta look at needs. And a tight end, like as much as great of a talent that he is a good talent. But do I need that? Is that the one player that's pushing me into a playoff or a Super Bowl run?
So we talked about this yesterday, D. Remember? So the generational talent, Caleb Downs, if he doesn't get taken by the Jets or the Titans at 2 and 4, he could potentially fall to 11 to the Dolphins. We talked about this yesterday, remember?
Yeah.
Because what the team needs is not there for him.
Right. And that's what I believe he will. I believe he will fall to 11, not because he's not good enough to be picked at those picks, but those team needs are such, like, they're so greater in other positions. And you do have highly talented talent at those other positions that will be there.
Right, and that's what you're saying, man. Like, because Caleb Downs is a generational talent, but if he falls to 11, then
ESPN has the New York Giants at number 5 taking Caleb Downs out of Ohio State. That's what ESPN has.
which wouldn't be a bad pick because we know how Harbaugh loves his safeties. I think they take Cornell Tate, bro.
Cornell Tate?
I think they take Tate to pair with Neighbors because
me too.
They have they have the Commanders taking Cornell Tate at number 7. And then where is that kid out of Washington?
he's not even a first round pick, and that's what I'm saying. We were talking about this yesterday. Like all these people think that he's because he's a big target, but it would be a mistake to take that guy in the first round.
Well, I'm just seeing if they have him as one or not.
You're
Yeah,
talking about Boston, right?
Denzel Boston, number 24, Cleveland Browns. ESPN has him falling to number 24 with the Cleveland Browns. Wide receiver, Washington, Denzel Boston.
So they actually have him going up then because he was projected to be a late first round pick, like 27, 32-ish, early second, you know what I'm saying?
Let's see here. Fluid in his route running allow him the flexibility to operate out of the slot. He is a true red zone threat with 20 receiving touchdowns over the past 2 seasons, tied for the 3rd most in FBS. What's up, P. Brady? I love these mock drafts. I really do. But this far out, especially before free agency, I think it's kind of hard for your mock drafts. So, not neck surgery. I think once free agency happens, right? Once we get to March 12th and past that, the mock drafts that come out of that are probably going to be a lot better because you're going to see a lot of teams address needs in free agency.
How much could you get if you?
What's that?
How much could you get if you?
David, brother, it sounds like you're underwater.
How many could you get in free agency? How many players could you get?
As many as you can with how much cap space you have.
Okay, so there's not a limit.
It all depends on how much money you're willing to spend. But you got to remember, you also have to have money left over for your draft picks.
Right.
So, I'm sure they already got that money set aside based on the salary cap because they know how much money, because that's why they put that rookie contract structure in.
Right.
So that money's already taken out of the salary cap once it gets set on the 11th.
Okay.
Like I said, the Broncos signed 4 players in free agency last year. J.K. Dobbins, Evan Ingram, Dre Greenlaw, and Talanoa Hufanga. Which out of all of them, Talanoa Hufanga was the best pick.
But they signed Dobbins late because they signed him like a week before training camp.
Yeah, they signed him really late. So, yeah, you can sign however many you want as long as you have the cap space for it. There is no set limit. Now, there's a set limit of players you can have, right? You have to have, I think it's 53 going into the league year, and then you have to have 90 going into training camp.
No, you don't have that. No, you can have up to 90. You don't have to have 90.
I thought it was you had to have 90.
No.
And then once training camp and all the preseason's over with, you got to go back down to a 53-man roster. Plus your 16 on your practice squad. No, it's a 53-man roster. I really wish they would up the rosters to 65. That's something that I think they need to look into if they're going to push this 18-game schedule. That the rosters needs to grow to 65.
Or at least 60. Ooh, that's 54.
Because, you know, because right now you can have 53 and what is it? 45 you can dress on game day.
Did you take Derrick Henry?
No, I want to take Derrick Henry. I love Derrick Henry, but no. And number one, Derrick Henry is not a free agent. The only way you're getting Derrick Henry is via trade. So, no, I want to do that. You're going to have to do that via trade. And I don't even know. What is he making this year? Let me pull that up. Baltimore. Let's see here. Derrick Henry is making $5.5 million this year. But the Ravens' biggest problem this year is the $74.5 million they owe Lamar Jackson. They want to extend him, but his mom is not being very cooperative about the contract terms. So that's where this whole thing from PFT came from about him possibly getting traded. Was because the Ravens want to extend Lamar because they owe him 74.5 this year, 74.5 next year, and they want to extend him to lower that cap hit and everything, but he's not being very cooperative, or his mom's not being very cooperative.
I agree with that. You don't want to do that?
We're gonna have the same thing when it comes to what's his name? Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels' mom is his agent with the Commanders. You're going to have the same exact thing. So, that's where PFT got rumblings and everything about a possible trade. That's why, you know, I do.
I'm not going to lie to you, Armchair. I don't see Lamar Jackson being with the Ravens next year.
I don't either.
And truthfully, like, we can look into this more, and we've talked about this before. I think that's the reason why Harbaugh got fired, is because maybe they were like, hey, we're going to get rid of Lamar. And he said, no, that's my guy. And they're like, okay, cool. So we're going to get rid of both of you. So my guess is that they're probably going to move. They're moving on from both of them.
You know what, Chris? That is a big possibility. I mean, yeah, you got plenty of teams out there that would be willing to trade for him. Now, it all depends on what kind of trade compensation you want. You're not going to get this is. I mean, you got to look at the Watson deal, the Russell Wilson deal. And you got to remember, whatever team trades for him is automatically going to have to go into contract talks. Automatically.
Well, not necessarily, because he's still got, what, 2 years left on his current deal, right?
Right, but if you trade him, you're bringing on $74.5 million on your salary cap.
Unless they work out a deal where.
That's what I mean. You're going to have to work on a contract talk.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I've seen it happen with players before, where they get traded, and the Ravens would eat $20 million, and then the other $50 million would go to whatever team he got traded to. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and that also affects the draft capital.
But like, if they consider the money compensation, then the Ravens could.
I'd say, maybe the Ravens eat 30 mil, and that means that whoever trades for him is taking 44 mil. That would give the Ravens $66 million in cap space.
Right.
So that would be a huge boost for the Ravens.
And that could happen.
Now, what team, right? You got Arizona, Miami, Atlanta, Minnesota, Las Vegas, the New York Jets.
So I'm going to say this. They're not going to trade him anywhere in the AFC because they don't want to have to play him in the playoffs if they miss playoffs.
All right, so let's go NFC. You got Arizona, Atlanta.
And Lamar Jackson will only accept a trade. He's got no trade clause, I think. He'll only accept a trade to a contending team. So you're going to have to look at contending teams.
Minnesota, Justin Jefferson. Let me see. Let me look at the contract.
Vikings think about probably trading Jefferson.
All right, so he has a full no trade clause and a no tag clause after 2027.
Right.
His $63.7 million signing bonus is insured.
That's what I'm saying. He's not going to accept a trade. It's just somebody. He's not going to, well, I'm going to Arizona. Nope. I don't want to play there, so I'm not going to accept that trade deal. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you can look at Minnesota with that division. They could compete with, the Packers and the Lions and the Bears. Atlanta probably, it was the same thing I said with Sam Darnold going to the Seattle Seahawks. He went there because that was the division that he could win, and he did, and won a Super Bowl. You look at Atlanta, their running back, what's his name? Bijan Robinson? No. Yes. Is that their running back's name?
So I could see Atlanta as a possibility. If they're going to release Kirk Cousins, they're not sure on Michael Penix, and they had a really good draft last year. They could make that move to bring Lamar Jackson there to play quarterback for them.
And by doing that, I'm pretty sure Kyle Pitts definitely wouldn't want to leave.
Right.
So, yeah, Atlanta could be a key landing spot again because of that division. It's such a lax division. You could win that division and be in the playoffs.
Right.
Vincelli, we're talking about Lamar not even being with the Raiders or the Ravens next year.
You know where I see Lamar going?
Where?
Back to Miami.
Why would you go
Play
to
in Miami.
Miami?
But we were just talking about him not going to an AFC team.
When Miami's rebuilding.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to accept a rebuild project.
No.
Dude, Miami Dolphins is having a fire sale.
Miami doesn't have the money to afford him either.
Yeah,
What about Atlanta?
Miami don't have the money.
No, because Miami's about to eat that. Because Miami's about to eat that.
Yeah, that is true.
$90
That 99.
That $99 million dead cap hit.
That's gonna be hard on them.
Let's see here.
We thought the Broncos had it bad with Russell Wilson.
The Atlanta Falcons have $27.7 million in cap space.
They can't afford Lamar.
Well, hold on. 35. So if you cut Kirk Cousins, that's 17 and a half. You're saving $7 million this year by cutting Kirk Cousins. Um, I'm looking at other players that they could look at
There's nothing
restructuring.
there.
You really can't cut Michael Penix. I mean, you could try to trade Michael Penix Jr. That would take about $13 million off of your cap. Now let's look at let me look at Minnesota.
Truthfully, if they make a trade for Lamar Jackson, no one's going to want Michael Penix because that's going to signal that, hey, okay, his career's done. And he'll
Ooh.
probably end up retiring, and they'll get all that money back for him retiring.
Minnesota is $40 million over the cap. They are $40.6 million over the cap.
I heard they did. Minnesota, there's a rumor going around. They think about trading Jefferson.
Yeah, I heard the whole Buffalo Bill, Justin Jefferson deal.
How would the Ravens benefit from trading Lamar?
Draft picks and a rebuild.
They wouldn't.
Well, it all depends on who you... Okay, think about it this way. All right, just think about it this way. If the Ravens were, per se, to trade Lamar to the Raiders, you're getting that number 1 overall draft pick, and who is that going to be?
He's nowhere near Lamar.
I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he is at all. I'm not comparing Lamar to Mendoza. I'm not saying he's whatever.
If I'm a new head coach or whatever, why would I take the risk of getting rid of Lamar Jackson?
This has nothing to do with the head coach. This is out of the head coach's hands.
Is all on the general manager.
This is completely out of the head coach's hands. This is all the general manager and Lamar Jackson and his mom. Head coach has no say in this one. He absolutely has no
I
say.
don't understand why you would get rid of Lamar to get any other quarterback.
When you have a quarterback who's unwilling to negotiate with your franchise, who again is owed $74.5 million and does not want to negotiate at all, you're kind of handcuffing the franchise. And so this is where it comes into being a general manager. You can't think of a head coach in this position, and you can't think of, oh, well, look what Lamar's done. I'm the general manager. I have to do what's best for this team. If I have a player that doesn't want to lower his cap hit and keep it at $74.5 million this year, $74.5 next year, and his people, right, his mom and all of them that are advising him and him are unwilling to come to the table with me to help bring down his number, extend his contract, he's still going to make that $149 million. It's just going to be spread over more years with more money on top of that. But if he's not willing to do it, I have to do what's best for my team. I have to. I cannot financially strap my team with a player who is unwilling to do anything to help me. So I'm going to test the trade market. I'm 100% in.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
But also, you also got to think, man. Like I understand Lamar Jackson, right? He gets all this hype, but as a GM and as a head coach, I'm talking to Jim. Hey, you know what, man? Lamar Jackson's salary cap is $75 million. We don't have top tier wide receivers on this team, and nobody wants to come here. We can't entice no one to come here because all these top wide receivers do not want to play for Lamar Jackson. I'm sorry, they do not. That's why they don't have the receivers that they don't have, because no one wants to play Lamar Jackson, because Lamar Jackson has an accuracy issue, and he would rather run than throw the ball.
Yep, he has a very bad accuracy problem.
Because and don't get me wrong, I know he's an MVP, and I know that we talked about this before, but Lamar Jackson is a very selfish player. And he's gonna call his own number more than he's gonna call someone else's number. And it's just say the Ravens keep him, and they try to make a trade for Justin Jefferson, or we'll just say like a Jamar Chase, or a Drake London, or any type of receiver that we consider a number one top receiver. They're not going to stay there after 1 year. They're going to be demanding trades because they're not going to want to play with him.
Yep.
Because he's not going to be able to throw them the ball.
Yep. Zach, when it comes to the Commanders, they need to get an offensive line. They need to get a younger tight end. They got to get younger wide receivers and get Jaden Daniels help. But I agree with Chris 100%. I've noticed it a lot about when it comes to Lamar, his ball, it floats a lot, and it doesn't have that arc to it. Lamar doesn't have an arc on his ball. His ball floats like this when he throws it because he doesn't know how to set his hips or his feet. He doesn't. Lamar does not know how to set his feet or his hips. He's relied through his entire high school, college, and most of his pro career of relying on his legs to win games instead of his arm. And now with all the injuries, you've got to trade him to rely on his arm, which means you have to completely work on his fundamentals. But on top of that, if I have a player that's unwilling to do this, if I have a player that's unwilling to help my team, I've got to, do something.
So, to me, there's only two options for Lamar Jackson. Well, there's three options for Lamar Jackson. But so the three options is you either stay with the team and you work your deal and you get a new deal and you lower the cap, but you still get your money, or you get traded, or we're just going to go ahead and draft someone else, start someone else, and force you to retire and be done with you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, actually, there's a fourth option.
What's that?
I'm going to cut your ass. If I cut him, that's $43 million this year, $43 million next year, and I say $31 million per year.
Yeah. But I don't see the Ravens cutting him just because for what he's done to them and for them. But like I said, man, they're not just going to let Lamar Jackson walk without some compensation. But
I mean, if he declines every trade, right? Because he's got to agree on the trade. If he declines every single one, I'm not paying a backup quarterback $74.5 million. If he's unwilling to redo his deal, if he's unwilling to take any trade, I'm not paying a quarterback to sit on the bench at $74.5 million. I will cut you, eat the $86 million dead cap over the next 2 years, but I'm going to be saving $62 million over the next 2 years.
right, and $62 million over the next 2 years, you can definitely rebuild that team quickly.
So 31 this year, 31 next year. That if I were to do that, that would move me up to $53 million in cap space this year.
Right.
So that's what I would tell him. Those are your options. Right now, either you come to the table, which he's not coming. He's not coming to the table at all.
Right.
You either take a pay cut, which he's not doing, and you block every single trade that I have out there for you. I'm cutting you. And by the way, I still think there's a way, even if I cut him, and if he gets signed by another team, I can get compensatory picks. I know they're not a number one and number two or whatever, but I can still get extra picks. But I have to look at it for my franchise. I have to save money to build this team. I have to.
So I know that we're not talking about Madden here, but I'm in an online Madden league for guys in this league for a long time, and I'm looking at so I just will log in just to see, right? The Ravens user in this league, and at this point, we're like 6 or 7 years in. So Lamar Jackson is 35 years old in this league, right?
Okay.
This dude just signed Lamar Jackson to a $728 million deal.
Wow.
Stupid shit like that.
Yeah, it is.
Is what gives, like I know we talk about football a lot, but a lot of people look at Madden and, oh, well, they got this and this and this. If I can make it work in Madden, they can make it work in real. Yeah.
Yeah, Madden. Yeah, that's Madden. That you could turn injury mode off.
Like realistically, with the money, because the money's not right in Madden. If you can make it work in Madden, you can definitely make it work in real life. But some of these trades and some of these contracts that these players got in Madden, like, so I'm looking at some of these contracts, right? So Patrick Mahomes is still in the league in this game. The dude paid him $500 million. Like, come on, man.
And even in, see, some people live in the fantasy world, because even in Madden, you can turn the salary cap off.
Yep.
In real life, you can't.
Real life, you can't turn the cap off and you can't turn injuries off.
Yeah.
And in Madden, you can upgrade your player to get them better.
I'm just saying, man, like, how do you justify, and again, like, I know that it's bad in real life, but how can you justify paying someone $750 million? How can you build a team out? Like, you're going to have to build your whole team through the draft, and you're going to have players on the practice squad, but you ain't going to be able to sign nobody else, because
well,
Jackson is gonna
you know, you say that as it's Madden, but if we look at contracts, especially when it comes to quarterbacks, look what Allen just got. 3 year, 330. You don't think Lamar wants that kind of money or more with this deal? You don't think that when CJ Stroud and Bryce Young come up for a deal, they're going to want that kind of money? Then you have Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix Jr., JJ McCarthy, and Drake May. These guys are going to want money when their deals are up. And that number is going to go higher and higher and higher. I mean, Sam Darnold is projected to sign a 4-year, $245 million extension this year.
But that's what I'm saying. But like, and I'm not trying to say, like, I understand players want their money, but at the same time, man, like, the NFL keeps raising the salary cap so they can pay these players. If the NFL would just put their foot down and say, hey, you know what? The salary cap, instead of going up, it's $57 million. The salary cap's going to go down $14 million.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You're not
like,
gonna do that.
so the NFL, like, I understand that they're making money, these players are making that money, but like, they're enabling players like Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes and CJ Stroud and Bryce Young and all these guys to say, hey, you know what? I want a $300 million contract, because that's what the NFL standard is set right now.
Wow.
And I'll tell you what did it. And it's not really the players. It's the union.
Mm-hmm.
It's the union. Because the union's the one that wrote up that bullcrap collective bargaining agreement. That is why the salary cap has to keep going up. Because of the collective bargaining agreement. And again, I could tell you to read it, but I advise you not to, because it is one of the most boring, uneducational, most effed up thing I've ever read in my life, because it is extremely hard to understand. But per the CBA, the cap is required to go up. It's not the NFL and owners. No. It's the CBA that requires it. And the reason why that happened was because the players threatened to go on strike if it didn't.
Yep.
The players threatened to go on strike. And the reason why the NFL buckled and said, okay, is because of all the money Goodell's bringing in. I'm going to tell you this right now. Love him or hate him, Goodell is going nowhere. As long as the NFL still makes over $30 billion a year, Goodell is going nowhere. And as long as more money keeps flowing in from Goodell, that salary cap is going to keep going up and up and up because of the CBA.
Yeah, it's TV deals and all that shit.
And right now, the players are already in talks with the union of wanting. Now, the CBA is supposed to expire in 2030, but they're already in talks with the union of redoing the CBA to get more money.
That's ridiculous.
So this is what I've been reading about the CBA, right? Because we all know how baseball works. We all know how basketball works. So but these basketball players, like in the NBA, when they sign their contract, I want to say 93% of the contract is guaranteed.
Ooh.
The NFL wants. Like these players, they want their like Lamar Jackson, he wants his $300 million.
And he wants his $300 million.
$100 million guaranteed. He wants all of it guaranteed. Because if he gets hurt tomorrow and he's out for the rest of his life, like he can never play football again.
He gets that $300 million.
Yeah.
They have insurance policies for that stuff. He's not worth that kind of money.
No. Okay, so, okay, hold on. I'm going to tell you what his insurance policy was on his contract. This is what his insurance policy was when he signed his 5-year $260 million deal. His fully insurance policy, where is it? Fully guaranteed is
these players, the players in the NFL are pushing for guaranteed contracts.
135 mil. That was it. Or I'm sorry, that's wrong. 185 mil. So out of the 260 million, only part of that through that 5-year span that is guaranteed is 180 mil. The one that has the highest guaranteed money now is Josh Allen. He signed a 3-year, $330 million deal, or sorry, a 6-year, $330 million deal with $250 million guaranteed. He eclipsed, thank you, baby girl. He eclipsed Deshaun Watson's $245 fully guaranteed deal. Josh Allen has the most guaranteed money in the NFL. So that means he can walk out on that field in September, have a career-ending injury, and here's where the part that really hurts. That money is due in a year or two. It's not the rest of his contract year. No. If a player retires or has a career-ending injury, all that guaranteed money is required then.
But that's what I'm saying. Because they're talking about this a few years ago. A lot of these players want that guaranteed contract. So say next year they redo the CBA and they get it. A lot of players are pushing for guaranteed. So in 2 years, when these players sign contracts, so like say Bo Nix becomes a free agent in 2 years, and he signs with the Arizona Cardinals, and he signs that contract. He wants that guarantee. So if they pay him $165 million,
he's going to get 165 guaranteed.
All 165 is guaranteed whether he plays or not.
And how that really screws teams over, and it will, because it will, thank you, Apostle, it will come back and bite them in the butt, because it would make it extremely hard to cut players, to work around contracts. It's going to get really hard. It's going to be hard.
That's why.
Thank you, JM.
Yes, sir. Baltimore needs to cut ties with Lamar Jackson and stop that, because $75 million for 1 year, no quarter, he ain't won.
Well, they could literally cut Lamar, and they would save $33 million this year and $33 million next year.
I don't understand why.
Or I'm sorry, $31 million. They would say 31 this year, 31 million next year. If again, this all equates to, if they don't get an extension done, if he shuts down all the trade options, I'm not going to put him on my bench as a backup making $74.5 million. I'm cutting your ass.
That's crazy.
I am. I'm not going to deal with it. I will eat $86 million over the next 2 years, but save 62 million, right? I will eat your 86.5 million over the next 2 years, but I will save me 62 million over the next 2 years.
I'm sure I also saw this, but that's also why a lot of these, like a lot of players, like I understand that, you know, Stafford's 37, Aaron Rodgers is 41, like those guys are different. But I've been watching podcasts with some of these older players, like people like Marshawn Lynch and people like Calvin Johnson and all that. Like a lot of these guys retired early because they were the top. So we'll just say Calvin Johnson was a top player at his position, right?
Right.
So he was making, so whatever, say he was making $20 million a year. He was pissed off a lot because these guys that were 4th, 5th string wide receivers on the Cleveland Browns
We're making more.
We're going to free agency, and they were getting 25, 27, 28 million dollars per year based off the CBA because that's how it works. And then when Kevin Johnson asked for more money, the Lions are like, well, no, you just redid your deal. We're not giving you more money.
Right. Your age comes into factor.
No, well, it's not even age. Like, why would you be a top player at your position and someone that is nowhere near your caliber is making $10 million more a year than you are, and your team won't give you?
What was that kid's name? What was that kid's name from Oklahoma that was drafted by the St. Louis Rams? He was a quarterback.
Sam Bradford.
Sam
Bradford.
Sam Bradford. He was the number 1 overall pick. This is where everything changed with the rookie contracts. He came in as the number 1 overall pick and signed a $66 million contract when you had 10-year vets not even making that much money.
Right.
That's when they put the rookie cap in. But I agree with what's going on. The problem I have is, and that's why I look at these younger quarterbacks, and I do. And I'm like, they have a chance to be great. Every single one of these guys that was drafted this year, last year, and the year before that, I count these 3 years, 23, 24, and 25, because they are the future. They have a chance to be great if they don't let the money override the team. Meaning they don't ask for some coming out of their rookie deal. They don't ask for Josh Allen money, Lamar money, Joe Burrow money. If they sit back and go, you know what? I like the team I play on. We're good. I need to keep this team having money. I need to do what Brady did.
So I'm sorry, that's not the issue for me. Then the issue for me is, okay, so say Bo Nix comes to me at the end of his rookie deal and says, okay, I want $300 million, right?
Oh.
So I'm gonna pay Bo Nix $300 million, but I'm gonna also put in it. I'm not gonna say it's in this contract, but I'm gonna work this out with him. Hey, Bo, like I'm gonna give you $300 million because you deserve it. But I also want you to know that in 2 years from now, if we are like, I'm not saying over the cap, but say we need a little wiggle room for cap space, I'm gonna come to you and say, hey, Bo, I'm gonna give you more on your bonus, or I'm gonna give you more money next year if you take a pay cut right here. So as long as the player is willing to work on the contract and take less money or change the money around a little bit, like you're still gonna get your money, but move it around a little bit. If you're willing to work with me, then I'm willing to give you that money. But people like Lamar Jackson who are not willing to give up a damn dime to help the team.
I agree. I'm 100% with you, my brother. I'm 100% with you.
Because these guys want their money because they're not guaranteed to win. They don't care about winning no more. They just care about that paycheck.
Oh, I know.
Saying that the winning is not the goal now. That's not the most important to a lot of kids nowadays.
Like I said, I hope as a Broncos fan, my quarterback, Bo Nix, is more like Tom Brady. I hope he's more like Tom Brady, where Tom Brady said, you know what? Push all my money to the back of the contract. And when we get there, we're going to do it again.
I said the same thing about Brock Purdy.
Push all that money to the back. Did Purdy do that?
Hey, so
Yeah,
here's so this is what a lot of guys do, right? Because like you just said, like they backloaded Tom Brady's contract to have wiggle room like early. But if you play it right, and it's like say, and because we're talking about Bo here, right? So
Yeah.
Bo. So if say Bo wants $200 million, if they have the cap the first few years, you front load the contract and take the money off the back end of the contract. That way, as he's getting older, you can say, hey, Bo, you're a little older. We want to pay you $30 million, but you're a little older. You've kind of lost, maybe not lost step, but hey, we only have 20 million in cash space. If you just, we gave you all that money up front. Can you give us a little back at the end? And you front load the contract instead of back load the contract. That way you don't have to run into this contract where you have to renegotiate in 2 years because you gave him $75 million in year 3 instead of giving, and you only gave him $10 million in the first year.
Yeah, but the problem with doing it that way, though, and I respect your logic. The problem is now you're paying a young guy a lot of money up front where you can't really get help around him to win. So that when he gets older, yeah, you're paying him less, but he's also older. When you don't know about the injuries, you gotta factor all that in.
But that's why I'm saying front load the contract because you know what you got right now. He's young. So say Bo Nix is okay. So we're on Bo. So Bo is 27 when he signs a new deal, right? Okay, 27 years old. So 27, 28, 29. You're getting 30 million, and then it lowers to like 25 million. And then at that point, you're 30 years old. So you're 30 years old and say, okay, you're not making 25 million this year. You're only making 22. And then when you're 31, you're only making 20, right? Because you took a couple coming away. So he's older. You know he's older. And as players get older, you know they're more injury prone. So now you're saving that money to bring in players to help him stay on course so he doesn't get injured or he doesn't have to rely on because that's what happens is they back end the contract and as they're 31, 32, 33 years old, they're getting paid $50 million, but they're getting injured because they're older and they're trying to do more because they're more experienced and they expect it. So if you give them the money early on and say, okay, go out and prove it, be the Superman right now because you're young, you got the money, okay, cool, put your body on the line to help us win. When you're older, guess what? Now we can bring other pieces in to help you win instead of you helping us win.
I get it. You're flipping a coin either way.
Right.
It's a 50-50 either way. Now, again, another thing, as long as the NFL does not come in and say, hey, y'all know how you mess with these contracts, you can't do that anymore, it won't matter. As long as they allow legal cap manipulation, which I seriously doubt they will ever ban it, you won't have to worry about ever being over the cap, but it's back to the same thing we were talking about. You have to have that player willing to take that money, right? It's like Dak Prescott being owed 70-some-odd million this year. Dak Prescott is willing at the beginning of on March 9th, March 10th, whatever it is, to go right into Jerry Jones' office and get a $50 million check and take it to the bank. You have to have that player that's willing to do it.
So you're talking about that, and that's where it comes like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so when they sign the contract, so that Dak Prescott signed, we'll say he signed a $200 million contract, and his signing bonus for signing that contract was $60 million. So now Jerry Jones can manipulate that contract by saying, okay, we owe you $75 million. But guess what? We're going to take $35 million of that $75 million and turn it into a signing bonus and then switch it to a signing bonus. So that's guaranteed money for Dak Prescott.
Yep, and it's
They're
up
gonna pay
front.
it up front. He has to pay it up front, but then that also saves the Dallas Cowboys $35 million.
Right. It's just you have to have that player, Lamar, willing to do it.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of players are willing to do that, and a lot of players are willing, hey, sure, I'll take that Sam Bosa because that gives me more money. But people like Lamar Jackson, and I said this earlier, Lamar Jackson is a very selfish player.
Yes.
He doesn't call, even when he was at Louisville, like, he called his own number so much at Louisville because I don't know if he didn't trust his people or whatever he did, but he does the same thing in Baltimore. And because, there's been games where receivers are running wide open down the field and Lamar Jackson starts running around like a moron and just takes off. And that receiver just stands there, throws his hands up like, hey, that could have been a touchdown. And Lamar Jackson puts his body on the line and risks another injury because he'd rather call his own number to be the hero of the game.
You mean like Kyler Murray?
Well, I don't know about Kyler Murray because that dude's 5'10" and gets made of glass, but
He would rather call his own. He's a one read merchant. Well, first read's not there. He's calling his own number. But guys, I'm gonna end it here. We've been at it for 2 hours. I have an appointment with my therapist here in a little bit. I thank you all so much for coming in and hanging out with me. And if you are not a follower, I would greatly appreciate it if you hit that follow button. I will be back on tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, and I will also be on tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for our NFL 2026 Buzz Talk. We will be doing it every Tuesday and Thursday, going all the way up to the regular season. I hope you guys come in and hang out with us. We were sharing it as much as we could last night. We're trying to make it to where everybody can come in. We were having some problems last night, so please be with us. We're still working on it. I hope y'all come in and enjoy it. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today. I greatly appreciate it. I hope y'all have a great rest of your Wednesday. Have fun, be safe, and know that I love you and my family loves you, and we'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.